Okay, welcome to either day 3 or step 3 on analyzing your credit report. What we're going to do in this step is we are going to continue to analyze the credit report for correct information and discrepancies, disparities, inquiries, so forth, and we'll eventually go through each section. Now, the second section of this credit report is your account information. Notice in this here, in the Experian off of creditreport.com, this will just give you a report summary. And what it's telling you here is different accounts, whether it's real estate, it's revolving or delinquent. And notice it says delinquent, one delinquent account. 8 of them are current. Installment accounts, and other types. What's in collections? In this case, there's nothing. And then all accounts. And we have one delinquent account in this case, so that's what we would write our letter on when we eventually get to that. The next section, it's a little bit different for every credit report, but section 2 is account information. And what this is, it's going to have the account numbers. And what I'm going to do here is jump to page 5 on this Experian credit report or creditreport.com, where it shows that. Whereas if I were to switch over to TransUnion, you would notice that the second section would be the accounts themselves, a summary. Here it shows the credit bureau and what the score is, a summary of the different types of accounts, okay, when the account was open, whether it's revolving or installment, account mortgage, if it's a mortgage, if it's been closed and the reasons if it's been closed. So each, like I said, each credit report is a little bit different. What we want to do is understand it and then go into detail into it. Now, in this case, we have moved on to credit report and loans and other documents here. Now we have a Banana Republic account. This is a revolving account, and it's in current standings, which is a good deal. We have an Old Navy account on here, and then Countrywide. This potentially negative. It's giving you a warning here. You can go into here to more account details, but what we have here is this is the one that was delinquent. It was opened in '94, and there was a delinquent payment on there. If you've never made a delinquent payment on there, if this is not your account, this is where you're going to write yourself a letter to dispute this. But we're going to go through the rest of it, and then we'll move on to the letters a little bit further. There's a Victoria's Secret account and so forth. Now, this 24 payment history, 24 month, it's showing each one of these steps, what each one of it means, and it explains it to you. You want to see green. Green means it's okay. It means you paid it. Okay? 30, 60, 90, or 120 days late is a problem for you if you have these on your report. So it's really important that you know what's on your credit report and to dispute any disparities whatsoever on your credit report to help to clean it up. How long will this take? You probably ask. Well, the dispute takes 30 days. To fix your credit report can come anywhere from 3 months to a year, depending on how much is on there. Now, the reason we're doing 30 steps in 30 days is because I would like you to get all of those out there. It's going to take you 30 days to get replies and make comments back to them, but in 30 days you should be able to do what you can to get your credit report fixed. Now, the next section in the credit report, and all of them, would be your credit inquiries. Now, like I said, this one's a little bit different because it's off of creditreport.com, and this is the way they show it. But if you were to get a different credit report, all of them are kind of based in the same type of information. We just want to know what we're looking at. Well, in this case, it shows that we had a couple of inquiries. Wells Fargo Bank. It doesn't tell you what the inquiry was for, but it does tell you when the date was. And in this case, we have Banana Republic, which you open a credit card. In this case, the scenario person did. And then Robinson's in May. Now, let me explain on here what we can do. Seeing that, let's say this report shows 2005, 4, and 2002. Well, inquiries get taken off of your credit in 2 years, and they can account for 10% of your credit score. So it's very important that you get these inquiries taken off of your credit as soon as you can. And if you never made the inquiries, then you definitely need to get them taken off of your credit. So what we'll do here is we're going to go in and go through how to do it, because right here we have May Robinson's and this information that we would like to have removed off of our credit report, because this is 2002. And maybe if this is, depending on the year, if this was actually 2011 when we were doing this, all three of these should be reported. So what we'll do is we'll create a sample letter to do that. Once again, go back over to destroyyourdebt.org, go to the resource section, and click and open that. Once you've opened that resource page, scroll down till you find either an unauthorized or an unauthorized hard inquiry, which is the same thing as a credit inquiry. I will click the first one, which is an unauthorized credit inquiry, and I will open a document. We can save it later. You could save it immediately. Sometimes it moves a little faster when you do that. Okay, well, here's the first one, and it's a two-part system here. Here's the first example letter, and in this case it's an unauthorized credit inquiry to the creditor, whomever it was that sent it. Now in this case the letter shows American Express, so you'd want to change that. But if we look at the credit report that we have here, this is May Robinson, and if you scroll down you can find the address that it's been given to it. It's a general clothing store. So therefore on this letter what we want to do is change that information to in here to that department. So Robinson's department store. Okay, and depending on what your credit report it was on, it could have been on Experian, TransUnion, or Equifax. Put that within the letter itself, and then thank you in advance, John Smith. Okay, whoop. Sorry, little formatting issues there. So obviously my name's not John because I don't know how to type it. So what we'll do here is, and then your information below that, which would consist obviously, and I'll just copy and paste, it's a lot easier. Okay, now paste that information in there. Make sure you include your information to the creditor. Okay, mail this out, and even you want to be more specific, put in here the credit inquiry and the date that the inquiry took place. So you could put the date in here. So that's the first part, and make sure you put a couple of copies of it. One, you're going to keep a copy for your records. Two, you are going to attach the copy with the letter that you're going to be sending to the credit bureau itself, along with this one. This letter here of inaccurate items, obviously we're going to change that around to an inquiry on the letter itself. Instead of, and use the same template that you used before. It has all the information for each one of them. Experian, remember we saved one for Experian, we saved one for Equifax, and we saved one for TransUnion. All you have to do is go here to File and Save As, and when we want to change this to Experian, or it is Experian, we want to change it to Equifax, then we will just change the name to Inaccurate Items Equifax, and save as, rich text format. In this case they're all so that you can open them up if you don't have Word, and therefore now you will have three templates of the same letter, so you don't have to continue to repeat inputting all of this information, okay, as well as what your signature and so forth would be. Now include your driver's license like you asked before and included before, and also include the letter that you sent to the other disputing agencies. Okay, so this is how we're going to get those taken off of your credit. You need to dispute not only to the credit grantor or the store itself, but to the crediting agency, so that they can put a dispute in as well. That will get you the best results to get rid of unauthorized inquiries. In this case, your inquiry was over 2 years, so therefore you'll put that in the letter. I have an inquiry in here that's over 2 years old. Now, if you don't believe you made the inquiry, then send both letters. If the inquiry is over 2 years old, all you have to do is send a letter that says, I have several inquiries on my credit report that are over 2 years old. Please have them removed immediately in accordance to the Fair Credit Act. This is the section that you would include into there. According to this document, which was your unauthorized hard inquiry, that the inquiry into your credit report violated by the Consumer Act, it should have been removed in 2 years according to the Act. And if you have any that are 2 years old, they should be removed immediately. You don't even need to grant the wishes from the creditor, just the bureau itself. And those will be removed immediately off of your credit if they're over 2 years old. If they're disputed, remember, disputes take 30 days to be looked over and to be changed. So credit inquiries are and accuracy on there is one gigantic step that can help you to get your credit score at least raised 10% right off the bat. If you don't have any credit inquiries, not a problem. We will work on the rest of the sections within here. But if you have inquiries, go on to the helpful information here. Remove unauthorized inquiries letter, unauthorized credit, or hard inquiries. Also disputing inaccuracies, and send those in to get those taken care of immediately. All right, this may be a lot longer than just a lesson on day 3 here, but what we'll do is it's a process. So the videos are only 15 minutes long. Remember to keep the templates and resave them so you don't have to continue to include the information that's going to be the same on each one of them, which is the information from the inquiries itself. Your name, your address, your phone number, the creditor's information, and obviously the date. A quick tip for you on today's date: if you go in here on Microsoft, and you can go into the Insert tab, and in this case you want to insert date and time. Now notice here, if you update it automatically, and let's say we put September 29th, and click this little box here that says update automatically, and once you save it, every time you open the document, it will automatically update to the date, the current date. So therefore you don't even have to continue to put that date in there every time. If you decide you write a letter a week from now or 2 days from now, you don't have to keep updating the date. It does it automatically for you. So there's a couple of quick tips on Microsoft Office as well on Word, and we'll go back in here and finish up. Okay, I will see you tomorrow on day 4 to continue on fixing your credit.